What's up, everyone? Daddy Robux here, and today we are continuing our playthrough of Waterdeep's Dragon Heist. Um, let's do a quick recap. I know there was some confusion about where we were. The party, after having kind of tooled around the city of Waterdeep for a bit, uh, found themselves in the Yawning Portal. And it was while we were in the portal that a series of events unfolded. Monsters crawled up from the Undermountain through the hole inside the yawning portal, its namesake. And after defeating the monster, one of the patrons, Volo, saw how the heroes had jumped into action and decided to hire them for a quest. Turns out Volo's friend Floon was missing, and he desperately wanted him back. So the party went on this long endeavor to try and find Volo's missing friend, and after following a series of leads, they discovered that Floon had been kidnapped by one of the rivalry. Ugh, I can talk good. One of the rival gangs. They weren't quite sure if it was the Zentarum who took him or if it was the Xanathar, and so they followed leads to find safe houses for both. Uh, they first went to the Zentarum hideout. They found signs that he was there at some point, and then he was recaptured, recommandeered. Anyway, the Zents had him, and the Xanathar took him. So then they had to go to their hideout, and they busted him out of there, and that was actually the end of our session. The party, having barely survived the Xanathar hideout, where we have not had a rest yet, but let's say you guys have made it to the surface. Renair Neverember is with you, as is Floon, and everybody is now on the main streets of Waterdeep, where it's relatively safe. Ooh, a nat 1 for Lothar. I didn't
Is
see.
it still light out?
Sure. Yeah,
I
it's.
think we I think we have to hurry to the joining portal.
Yes, let's get Floon to Volo, and then I'd like to take.
No. Renair kind of waves his hand. I think it would be much more appropriate if I take Floon home. I'm sure he's quite exhausted after the ordeal we've suffered, and Volo will have other days for drinking and merriment. I'll take him home. Just assure Volo that he is safe and he's with me.
Okay, but I'm going to need proof. So if you could sign a parchment paper or something, have both of you sign your names. So I've had
That
a
we
very long
rescue
day.
you.
I don't want to
Yeah.
go through.
I hardly see that as necessary, but if you insist, do you have parchment or a pen?
Anybody? Not on me. You go to a shop real quick. This is important.
I mean, I'm sure if we tell Volo that, we've succeeded in our mission, if Volo needs to, he can always just go and check.
I like how they
Yeah, but
never
maybe
asked
this
why
guy
did
right
they
here,
kidnap Floon.
Neverember, takes credit for it. Don't you think so? Can we trust him?
I'm pretty sure that we can trust the son of a lord, yes, and a good friend of his.
Why don't we just take both of them back to Flume? Back to Volo, and then let them.
Because Renair doesn't want to go back to Volo, he wants to take Floon home so that he can rest and recuperate.
I'm fine with that. I don't trust that guy, Neverember. We just met him, but I trust you.
Honestly,
you put your faith in him.
I think that given the relationship between the two of them, I think that Floon will be safe with Renair, and I think if we pass the message along to Volo, he'll be satisfied. If he isn't, we can always go and seek him out and try and gain some proof. Is that okay with you, Renell?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fine. I think maybe at some point I'd very much like to talk with you again.
Is
Go ahead.
Floon conscious?
Barely. He's quite tired. After being mistreated by the Zentarum and then the Xanathar, you can see he's very tired and exhausted. I mean, it's been 2 days since he was last seen, and the last we knew, he was heavily drinking, and he hasn't really eaten, so he definitely needs some rest.
Floon, I know this is a hard time for you, but you trust this guy? You know him, right? Is your friend.
Who? Renair? Aye, him and Floon are my mates. I trust them with my very life.
I think we're good, guys. We can do what they say.
Besides, I'm not the one who was in danger.
Wait, what happened?
You see, Floon and Renair kind of look at each other for a moment, then Renair looks back to the rest of you. It's nothing. I don't want to get you involved. It's probably safer for you that way.
Well, I think we are already involved. Please.
No, it's quite alright. I really must get Floon home.
Sir, we just risked our lives to help you. Can you please tell us what's going on?
He eyes you for a second, and he's like, well, you see, the gangs think that my father embezzled a large amount of gold when he was the Open Lord, and that he hid the coin somewhere in the city. They think that they can find it using something called the Stone of Galore. And last I had heard, the stone was in the hands of the Xanathar Guild until recent. Apparently, someone stole it, and the Zents thought that I knew something about all of this, but I didn't. I just found out about it from the Zentarum when they were interrogating me. I haven't spoken to my father in years. This is all very distressing, but I wonder if they'll come back, or if they're gonna, maybe they'll believe me.
I think at the very least, it's probably a good idea for you to keep a low profile if you're currently being targeted.
Certainly, no more day drinking. I promise.
But we will after we've spoken to Volo and given you some time to rest up. Perhaps we'll meet up again and maybe we can talk more about what's going on. See if there's anything we can do to help remedy the situation.
He nods his head slowly, and they start to head off into distance.
Well, let's go and see Bola. We can have him confirm that his friend is safe. Maybe he will be pleased that we didn't drag him all the way to the journey portal and he is easy and resting.
Indeed, and who knows? If we share an interesting story or two, we might get a bed and some drinks out of it.
If I have to relive that creepy brain thing one more time, I'm going home. That was too much.
That thing was disgusting.
It was quite odd.
Okay, to the yawning portal.
Okay. As you return to the portal, Volo is drinking alone, and you see he's biting his nails. He's bouncing his leg nervously, and he's not really drinking. He has a mug of ale in front of him, but it's just kind of sitting on the table untouched. And he just kind of scans the crowd left to right, until you guys walk into the portal and his eyes fall on you. He stands up and clasps his hands together. Doesn't really say anything. He just looks at you expectantly.
I would approach with a smile. Say, well,
is it good?
Yes. He probably needs a little bit of rest, but he'll be fine.
Where is he then?
Renair took him back to home to get some rest. He didn't think taking him to the tavern in the condition that he was in was going to be for the best. And as a medic myself, I tend to agree.
Oh, excellent! That is most wonderful news. He kind of leans in and gives you a hug. I mean, him being so very short, though, he just kind of grabs you around your legs. He breaks his embrace and takes a step back, and you can see he's looking rather sheepishly at all of you. Oh, yeah.
Is there something you need to tell us?
I have something to confess.
Please, go ahead.
Well, I have very few coins to spare. I may not be able to give you the gold reward that was originally promised. But, please do not fret. Never let it be said that Volo is not one to follow through on a promise. Allow me to present you with something far more valuable. And he reaches into his pack and he holds out a scroll tube. Go on, take it.
I take it. I open it up and look at
it. It is you see it's like a very fancy looking document. It's notarized. There's a bunch of stuff on it. But written across the top in a big stylized pen, it says Trollskull Manor. He points to the parchment. Says, that is a deed to a remarkable property here in Waterdeep. We'll need a magistrate to witness the transfer of ownership, but I can arrange a meeting with you after you've inspected the estate and deemed it satisfactory. I will give this to you to repay my debt.
An entire house for one person when you offered us 50 gold each.
No. It's not a house. It's a manor. And if you would just go and examine the property, you will see that it is quite extraordinary. It used to be a tavern.
Well, I don't like to be tricked, but I think we are getting the upper hand with this. Show us the way. Let's see how it is.
Unfortunately, I'm not coming with you. You can go examine the property. It's on Trollskull Alley. You should be able to find it with no problem. I'm gonna go visit Floon and make sure he's okay.
Okay, well, maybe we'll meet you back here tomorrow and we can arrange to go and speak to a magistrate. How's that sound?
Absolutely, yes, of course.
Very well then.
Wonderful.
Okay, so Volo shakes his hands, he takes back the scroll tube and puts it in his pouch, and then he kind of waves and says, "Till tomorrow," and he rushes off through the door.
Wait. I kinda stop him.
What's the
Does this place have a key? How do we inspect it? How do we get in?
uh you will find it unlocked.
Well, that's unsecure, but okay. We are going to need to buy some locks, I guess.
Well, I don't know about you all, but I'd be amenable to a little bit of rest before we go inspecting this new house.
Yes, I am quite overdue for some tea.
Let's do that then.
T. Okay.
I don't want to go into any dark alleyways. We're going straight where all the people. Social paths.
It does sound like a bigger place than yours. Maybe we should go there and get rest there.
Nope, my house is safe. I like my house.
I do understand. Yeah, it does definitely seem that a manor house would be bigger, but given I understand that he was scared for his friend, but this property is quite a large reward for something like this. Not to mention how sheepish he was being about it. I think it may be something of a fixer-upper, so I don't think it's the kind of place where we'd get a great deal of rest, which is why I think we should probably rest up first.
Well, that is true. He did say it used to be a tavern, so...
Yes, and if it used to be a tavern and it's currently unlocked, I don't think it's going to be in a good condition. So it might have a lot of potential, but I think it'll probably need a lot of work to it.
What are you trying to do?
There might be already people inside also.
In which
Trying
case,
to look for a roof. Yeah.
true. Or
I know that
it could be
situation.
being used as a den for a group of scoundrels that we might need to chase off.
Well, whatever it is, we have no idea what we're expecting, and all I know is there's tea at my house, there's a nice bed, you can all...
I mean, do you have space for all of us? I'd be perfectly fine just spending the night here.
If you want to spend the coin, that's fine. My house is free.
Do you have beds for everybody?
Let's
Of
just
comfortable
meet
floor.
up in the morning. Let's go home. I want to go to see my family.
There is that. Okay. So Vaneld just kind of breaks away from the group and goes to meet up with his family, right? They're sitting around doing family things. And Karis, thank you for the biddies, baby. Appreciate you. Okay, going home, you see that they ask you excitedly about your day and how everything has been going with the adventuring job.
I gave them the most tight hug like ever, and I say that everything is fine. I found a job, and it might get even better from here.
Okay. All right. So then you're just gonna kind of go up to bed for the night.
Also, I'm going to take my gold, and I'm going to hand them the 45 gold pieces. Let's eat some great food tomorrow.
All
And I'm
right.
going to bed after that really tired.
All right. So Vanel decide. The rest of the party, are you agreed with going to Lothar's house?
I'm fine with it.
Sure. I guess so. If he thinks that it's going to be space for everybody, then fine.
The floors were comfortable last time.
It's pretty homey.
Okay. I'd rather not waste time with just taking a rest. Already it's been like 20 minutes. But yeah, you can go to the house. There's no problem. There's plenty of room for everybody to sleep on the floor, the couch, the bed. Blah, 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 blah. Go ahead and take a long rest. And then in the morning, everybody wakes up. You get your breakfast and do what?
I assume we're going to meet back up somewhere.
It's a long rest, Lothar. You don't have to spend your hit dice. Oh,
I'll wake
gone.
up first on the morning and just move before anyone else wakes up. I'll leave a note behind that I have to go to work, and that's all.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna ritual find familiar. If you can drop me an owl.
What?
Apologize.
Did you
I'm going to.
MC?
Yes, I did.
And you took 5? You mother... I have a unnatural hatred for familiars. Bogged down combat unnecessarily. Oh, this thing is gonna die.
I like the warlock ones. The sprite is
Get out
quite
here.
useful.
I send up a prayer to my ancestors, and then I start heading out.
Yep. I assume that we all meet up and suggest that we make our way over to the new property to begin inspecting it.
Alright, owls in your journal.
Thanks.
Okay. So you guys start walking towards the location of Trollskull Alley, right? And give me a moment. I do have a map for you. We're gonna say you guys are coming from the southern entrance as you're coming up from the dock ward. Yeah. We're just gonna hand wave. You guys meet up at the portal. You go, okay, let's go, team, and then you're gonna go. And
Let's go check out Volos Manor house, guys. Sounded cool.
I'm more worried than anything else, but I guess that's a reward. So
alrighty. So you guys should see the map ahead of you. And as you look around, you see that the area here, it's not bad, right? The buildings here aren't in pristine condition, but they're not actively in disrepair. It's not like this is a slum. It is more of, let's say that the buildings are historical in nature. They're very, very old, and some of them need updated, need some of the fixtures repaired, but it's still a very nice area.
Guys, I'm having my doubts about this.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I also have his doubting. I also have my doubts, but as I said before, this is our reward. I prefer this above nothing. So
Seems too
I
good to be
guess
true, to be honest.
it's too good to be true. But how bad can it be?
Do we know which house it is?
No. You remember on the blueprints that there was a large tower attached to the building, but you don't really see anything like that when you enter from the south. Get that stupid owl out of here. What do you need the familiar for?
Well, let's make our way to the house. Try and find it.
Are we
As
looking
you
for what
guys
in this house?
walk up the road, you can hear the clang of an anvil coming from further down the road, and you can also there's a pungent odor in the air. Not entirely unpleasant, just very strange. As you walk forward, you see that one of the buildings ahead of you, it sticks out from the other buildings in the sense that there seem to be glass panels covering the roof, and even from far down the road, you can see there is a thick foliage that kind of is seen through the windows and through the open door.
Which building is it, like, in this map?
We
Oh,
can't see the
that's...
top.
Yeah, I have fog.
The dynamic lighting's blocking it.
Oh, you can't actually see the building. Ha! 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 Well, it's that one that Darnak is standing in front of. As you approach, you can see inside there is a thin person. It looks like a wood elf with long blonde braided hair. They are standing, and you can see they have a small mortar bowl, and they're picking off little plants and sticking them into the bowl, which they then kind of start grinding with a pestle as they kind of wander around. As they round the corner, they see all of you kind of standing through the open door, and the person goes, why, hello."
Hello. We are looking for an old manor that went out of business some time ago. I heard it was a tavern before.
Oh my. I'm afraid there's several buildings that could fit that description. Do you know what it's called, perhaps?
Trollskull Manor?
Trollskull Manor, yes. It sits actually just north of the Corlon's Crown.
And where is that?
Where's the crown? You're in the Crown. That's my store.
Ah, I see. Forgive me. We're not from this area, so we
Well,
don't really know.
welcome to the neighborhood,
particulars.
neighbor.
What do you sell in your store?
Oh, I am a simple herbalist. I like to sell herbal poultices and remedies, and some of it is nutritional aids and things to help cleanse the body. But I'm also a slightly skilled alchemist, and sometimes I brew potions with the herbs that I have here. Would you like to see what I have in stock?
I don't suppose you have something that'll make me live longer.
Actually, yeah, I do have quite a few of those. For 50 gold pieces, I have a potion of healing, and for 250 gold pieces, I have potions of greater healing, guaranteed to heal any ailment.
We can have a look, but maybe later. Can I get your name, please? I'm Vaneld.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Vaneld. I am Falah. Falah Lefalier. And the person gives a little, it's kind of strange. It's like a half bow, half curtsy, but they aren't wearing a dress, so they just kind of like make the gesture.
I copy the gesture as best as I can.
They kind of giggle at you for a moment.
Okay. Okay, we're heading north then.
Let me hold on. There you go. In case anybody ever wants to revisit and ask about blah 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 blah. Throwing that in the player folder. Okay. So, is there anything else that you'd like to say to Falah? I mean, they just kind of stand there with their hands like clasped, almost in like a prayer, as they kind of beam this big smile at you.
I can say we should probably be on our way, but I think we'll be back eventually.
Oh yes, please. Feel free to visit at any time.
Right, thank you very much. And Phoebus will head off.
Darnok will tip his hat and then head off with the group.
Okay. Oh. As you round the corner, you can see very distinctly a large building, almost twice the size of any other building that you've seen so far in Trollskull Alley, with a very large chimney attached on the side. It looks very much like the blueprints of Trollskull Manor that you had seen earlier. Also, it's labeled as such on your map, Captain.
Well,
Can you what now?
Do we see a door?
Yeah, there's two large double doors in the main hall. Hey, I didn't mean to do that. That's okay. You were gonna get that handout eventually anyway. Okay, fine. Oh, let's go inside. So, when you enter, or actually, better yet, as you approach the door, you can see it hangs ajar on its hinges. There is a lock, but it appears to have been broken, and the door just kind of hangs open.
Silly place for a jar.
Well, that's not ominous at all. As I head in.
Give me 1 second. Alright, everybody should be inside. You should be on the map. We are there. Okay. When you look at the building from the outside, the building is 4 stories tall, and you can see numerous balconies, the chimneys, and the large turret on the side. It's very grand, but again, it looks like it needs lots of repairs. Walking inside, you can see that the main area, the hall here, the tap room, is filled with broken furniture, tarnished silverware, and casks of wine that have turned to vinegar and leaked all over the floor. There is worthless detritus everywhere. It seems like squatters had sat in the establishment for some time, and there are random acts of vandalism on the floors and walls.
Oh, this place is certainly a mess.
I don't know. It's quite homely.
It
How
definitely
old
needs
are
some repairs, but again, I think this is much more valuable than what we did.
you? So, are we gonna fix it up and sell it, or are we gonna run the bar?
I don't know how to run a bar. I can maybe work on the kitchen or something, but this place looks quite luxurious if we can fix it.
I'll take a look around at the furniture. Does it seem to be like rotting, or does it seem to be in like good condition minus the whatever, just like the dust and
Good condition, but there's dust and much of it has been broken. You don't think there's a single salvageable piece of furniture in the establishment. Some of the fixtures though seem to be mostly safe. The stove in the kitchen is okay. The pantry shelves don't need replaced. Like, there is still quite a bit of value. And as you walk about the main floor, you can see there's a hatch to a basement and stairs that lead upwards.
I don't know about you guys, but I'd like to go down first.
Lead the way.
Sure.
There's nothing down there. Okay. Looking around the basement, you see, several large casks of ale, most of which are broken and leaking. There are, however, 2 kegs of ale, which seem to have remained sealed and are still drinkable. The beer is flat, but it's drinkable. There's also miscellaneous shelves, barrels, and crates for more storage, but nothing of value.
Grab one of the casks and take it back upstairs.
It would weigh like hundreds and hundreds of pounds. I don't know if you could just carry it upstairs.
Oh,
He
alright.
can't, but I can.
Probably. Sure. All right. Fine. Yeah.
Yoink.
Carry the
Yep.
cask upstairs.
are we having a kegger then?
It's the only thing that wasn't really damaged downstairs, so.
We got some beer.
Oh, I guess we'll drink and clean today. I'm gonna go behind the bar and see if there's like a till. Maybe there's like still money that got left.
No. As you look through the remnants of the bar, there's some tarnished drinkware, but it looks like there's no money left behind.
Oh, let's explore the upstairs.
Guys, are we planning to have all the day here cleaning, or
It's not even our property yet. We need to get it signed over first. It's just a good idea for us to come and inspect the place first.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Are these doors?
No, those are windows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the only doors is the one here. That's your front door. And then there's stairs here that lead. I think actually there's another like door in those double doors. And then somewhere there are stairs to right here. I think that's it. I don't know. I don't see it on this map. These are just some map that somebody made. I think they may have neglected the stairs. It doesn't matter. All
Who
right,
needs stairs when you could just jump from the bottom floor to the...
You can do that? I'm looking really amazed to Lothar.
no, seriously, where are the stairs? Hatch to the basement. Bam. Pantry. Yup. Kitchen. See, there's the stairs here, but that's from the garrets. And then here, that's the third floor. See, that's... I don't understand. How does that connect to that? That is there. That goes up to the garrets. So I'm guessing it should be right here. Is that it? I don't know. Doesn't matter. But it's a dick.
How does the floor look? Like, for
Uh,
example, if Lothar jumped, will it like break?
Some of the wooden floorboards are spongy, but it's very rich mahogany. Mahogany.
Next floor.
Is there anything of note?
No. As you continue to explore through, you can see that all the other rooms are mostly empty except for more broken furniture.
Seems like you took everything of value out of here before you left.
Well,
As,
this place was unlocked, so I don't think he was the one to take it, right?
As you guys are walking through, you hear a crashing sound as what you can only assume to be a plate has just fallen onto the ground and now lies broken.
What knocked that over?
Sorry, might have been me.
I rushed where the sound was. I don't know where to move, but
It's downstairs,
Are
back
you
on the
fine?
tap room floor. And when you examine the area, you see that none of the windows are open. So it wouldn't have been a breeze. You kind of look at the dust near where the plate was sitting. You don't see any like tracks or footprints. So you don't think it would have been like an animal that would have knocked it over. It's a mystery.
well, this place is haunted.
It is legit. Look, there's a
Or-
ghost right there.
Just been me shaking around. I mean, way more than I...
I'd like to look around, see if
Oh.
there's like
Okay.
like a trap door or something that someone can hide. Is that like a? Or
I'm
like
gonna grab a book and
dumb
start
waiter
reading.
or something.
We'd call it investigation.
Sure. My passive is passive is 20.
What?
Yeah, I have observant. I have +5 and then observant.
Boo! Who makes a dungeon rogue? Boo! Fun killer. Okay. As you're walking around, you know just kind of check all the floors, the furniture. Nothing. Not even a hint. Why did you roll?
Just in case you wanted active.
No. If you want to, yeah, use your passive. You use your passive. Yeah, there's not a single hint of like a trap door or some hidden walkway. Nothing of the sort is here.
I've been around a lot of buildings like this. I don't see any like safe area someone could be hiding in. It must be a ghost. I'm certain of it.
Have you seen one before?
Yes, and I promptly went the other way.
I put my back to the entrance door.
It was just one plate, guys. Could have just randomly fell off at no reason.
Somehow I doubt that.
Odder things have happened.
Even if it is a ghost, there's nothing to say specifically that it's malevolent. Maybe it just wants to get our attention.
I don't care if he's not a bad guy. I'm scared. Those things aren't natural, and they can possess you.
Can they? I thought they just move your hand around the little wooden board.
I'm even more scared now.
Yeah, spellcasters can do a lot of those things too.
So, anyone know how to get rid of ghosts? Anyone got holy water?
Can
Maybe you, cleric?
I can see if there's anything magical around here. Maybe that would help.
That would make me feel a lot better. But are ghosts magic?
Do I know of ghosts having, or whatever ghosts are, having magical properties?
Well, I'm going to answer that question in as simply a way as possible. Do you think that ghosts can exist as an incorporeal undead creature and not be magical?
Fair point. I will ritual cast detect magic.
Okay, as you do, you kind of look around the room and you're trying to get a sense for if there's any magical energies. There isn't. You know, most of the building is just a dead reading. But then you can kind of feel it. There is an aura of necromantic energy that just kind of moves from right to left through the chamber.
Yeah, I feel something. It seems like there's something here. Do I have a direction maybe I can point to?
Where the heck are you?
I have no idea. Under Van Eld.
Sure, yeah, it's over here, in front of the fireplace and under the stag that is mounted above it.
I'll go over, or I guess, are you going to tell this to us?
Yeah.
He did.
Oh, I'll go take a look.
There's no indication of anything being over here, except you notice this corner of the room is noticeably colder than the rest of the chamber.
This is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Was there anything coming off of the mount or whatever is up there on the wall?
No. If you are still ritual detecting if you are still ritual casting detect magic, you can see that blue aura, that necromantic aura. It kind of moves forward and then it goes through the wall and it disappears. You no longer sense the aura.
Yeah, there's definitely an aura of necromantic magic just moving around this place, guys. I don't know what you want to do.
I'd like to try and check out the top of the tower. Actually,
Can you get rid of this necromantic magic?
No.
I don't like this one bit. Do you think we should burn the entire place down? Just to be safe?
absolutely not.
It's just one plate.
I don't think necromantic magic is on a plate.
No, it
Speakers?
dropped a plate. Why are we worried about it?
I mean, it starts with a plate.
Maybe you
I
like
stand
ghosts.
by
I
and
don't
believe
like
I will
ghosts.
I suggest we continue checking out the place and then maybe continue back to Volo if we would actually like the place.
One
Don't wanna
spooky
keep-
plate.
I very happily close my book and place it back on the shelf.
Well,
It's everyone's
I'd
favourite
like to
most
continue
amazing
checking the
time in
place
each
out.
game.
I'd
It's wondrous
I'd like to
sight
go
and
to the top of the
time.
turret tower
Who
if I
wants
could.
a wondrous
Yeah.
item?
Should
Well,
definitely
someone
finish
will
checking
get
the place out.
something. Maybe it will be good, but I'm hoping for something cursed.
Well,
83. Ooh, that's not
who
good.
knows what we'll find.
Okie dokie. Alright, you continue to explore the house. One of you goes up to the highest tower. You find what looks to be a ruined bedroom. There's 2 rooms here. At the top of the tower, it's just a small 5-foot hall with doors to the left and to the right. Looks like I said, a bedroom and then some storage. And then you move throughout. I mean, there seems to be a total of 6 bedrooms. The basement. I mean, like it's a very large property, but thorough examination reveals nothing else of interest.
Nothing else magical, right? Last 10
Nope,
minutes.
nothing else magical in the property.
Is there some sort of skylight in the top of the tower? Windows?
Yes, there's a window. I will
Okay.
put you in the top of the tower.
Cool. All right, and I'm assuming that this, because it's the only one with a tower, was significantly higher than the other buildings.
Yes.
What can we see as we look out over the city?
Well, your view goes out unobstructed for quite some time. From your view of the tower, you can see Trollskull Alley in its entirety, but beyond that, you can only really see the rooftops.
You can see quite a bit from here. Do I
Yes.
see any ne'er-do-wells on the rooftop?
No, you do not. The only things that you see looking out over the alley, you can see that to the southeast, there is what looks to be a carpenter. You can see a sign clearly showing like a bent nail and then some lumber. You can see Corlon's Crown, the greenhouse that you guys had visited earlier, directly to the south. And east of that, you see what looks to be a second manufacturer. This one, you can see a trough of water and an anvil outside, and several people that are kind of gathered around the establishment. Further off to the west, you see mostly residential places, but you see directly west from Trollskull Manor, you see an odd-looking building with a sign hanging above the door. It looks like a gemstone carved in the shape of an eyeball. And beyond that, you can see another store. This one, it has a very large awning that goes the entire length of the building, and on that awning are several distinct pictures. You can see a scroll, a book, and what looks to be like a little worm crawling out through the book. And even further than that, at the very southwestern end of Trollskull Alley, there is a building which has big sign. It says under renovation. But no, nothing else. No ne'er-do-wells. No.
So that book with the worm, is that like just like a sign, or is that like an actual like animated worm inside of that?
It's a sign.
Well, we can certainly see quite a bit, but I guess. we'll head to the
Hey,
registry.
thanks for the biddies, buddy.
Or do you wanna
Appreciate
try to
you.
find that ghost before we leave?
We have smashed the bits goal for the month, so I am gonna do a giveaway. And I'm totally gonna do it and
I'm
not
sure if
forget
we
about
take
it
over
like
the
last
place,
month.
we'll encounter the ghost again.
Wait, you guys saw a ghost?
Well, we didn't see a ghost so much as it dropped a plate on us, and there's necromantic.
If you want bucks, you have to
Is he
direct
dead?
donate. Direct donations reward bucks 1,000 per dollar you spend.
Sounds like a ghost to me. It certainly
My
didn't see a
Aunt
skeleton.
Susan, when she's being very...
Yes, but is your Aunt Susan dead?
Maybe.
Yeah, did you feel any
New
magic
story
on any
idea.
of the other floors to it? Did you feel magic anywhere else besides that one place?
There was nothing anywhere, just there by the deer head.
Maybe we should take a closer look at that.
To it already did. There's nothing remarkable about it. I think that just happens to be where the entity was at the moment.
Maybe there's something behind the deer head. Can we take it off the wall?
Sure. You pull it down off the wall. You look behind and see a small iron nail hammered into the wood used to hang the deer head. I know, I'm funny.
Tuit's going to say very loudly, "Hello, necromantic ghost energy. Do you want to reveal yourself, maybe?"
There is no reply.
Does anyone speak ghost?
Ooh.
I say in abyssal. Oi! Anyone here?
No, there is no reply.
Nope, no ghost here. Just your imagination.
You would probably expect that the spirit of a creature that died would understand whatever languages it did when it was alive, and not suddenly gain new understanding of different languages.
Pour a drink for him, and I'll leave a pint full of beer out on the bar for the ghost to have.
That's an interesting thing. All right, and after that, is anybody doing anything else? We haven't heard from Van Eld in a while. What are you doing amidst all of this? All right, good talk.
So Phoebus would say, well, I think this is definitely a great investment, ghost notwithstanding. If, you know, maybe we can just learn to live with the ghost. Maybe it has a problem that needs solving, and we can deal with that.
We could also pay a cleric to exercise it for us.
No,
Well,
you can't do.
I mean, not every problem has to be solved by destroying it. So let's just see if we can
They have said twice, let's
deal
just
with
burn
this
it to the
amicably
ground.
first.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it wants to go to the afterlife with its god or gods.
Maybe it has something that it needs to do. Anyway, it's neither here nor there at this point. We don't know anything about it. We haven't been able to communicate with it, and all it's done so far is drop a plate. So I think we're maybe getting a little too far ahead of ourselves.
Precisely.
That's a great
Yeah,
way
I
to
do
solve the
believe
problem.
so.
So
So maybe we should head back to the yawning portal, meet with Volo, and see if we can arrange to speak with the magistrate about taking the place over. Even given the condition of the place, I think that it's a significant improvement on the original deal.
Plus, it's a bigger place to stay than.
Yes. Just before anybody else does, I called dibs on the tower.
The ghosts sleep in the high tower. I'll sleep in the basement.
there's a bedroom attached to the tower. Anywho. Okay, so heading back to meet up with Volo. He again, you see him wringing his hands nervously. So, is this gonna work? Do you want the property in exchange for our agreement?
Is there a ghost in that property?
Is there a ghost in that property? And you see he becomes suspiciously quiet.
Did you kill somebody in there, Volo?
What? No, I would never.
Did someone die in there?
Not recently. You see, he's like looking up at the the girders in the ceiling. He's trying to avoid eye contact.
So the person that did die, perhaps not recently, how did they die? What were the circumstances surrounding their death?
Well, you see, I originally bought the property because I had heard it was haunted, and I thought it would be good for research for my newest book. You know, Volos Guides to Specters and Spirits. I told you about it. Unfortunately, I stayed in the property for several days, and I didn't see anything. Is there a ghost there? Maybe I can have the property back. I mean, it is still
You
mine.
just hand over the gold, right?
Oh. No, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, we can I have an appointment with a magistrate. They can make this all official whenever you're ready.
Perfect. And we'd be happy to let you stay there if you want to help clean up the place, and maybe you can see the ghosts.
You would think that I, the great Volothop Gadam, would be one for menial labor? No, but if you ever open the place, I will gladly give you my coin.
The ghost comes out whenever you clean. And it breaks the things you're trying to clean. It broke a plate as I was trying to put it in the water.
Phoebus looks quite flatly at him.
Tell me more about the ghost and what you've seen. Tell me all the details.
So it emanates this aura of necromantic magic, and whenever you try to clean something, after you do it for a few minutes or so, it'll break the next thing you try. So if you go there and you clean a lot of stuff, there's a good chance you'll see.
Amazing. Yeah. The property, the previous barkeep was a half elf named Lif. Maintaining the tavern was his life's work, and the stories say that he couldn't abandon his beloved tavern even in death. I wonder. Well, let's go ahead and get this signed over to you, and then maybe you can fix her up. I'd be happy to frequent the establishment. Are you ready?
Sure, let's head over.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Sounds good.
Okay, we are to meet with a magistrate named Kylene Sylvanhill. I'm not quite sure on the details. It's difficult. We're to meet at the Castle Ward at High Sun. So I guess I'll see you in a few hours.
Certainly.
Indeed, we'll meet you there.
All right, he gives you a little wave, and he is off. Is there anything you guys would like to do in the hours between now and High Sun?
No, there's nothing that Phoebus would like to do.
I've got nothing to do.
If we have a few hours, then Tuit would like to go to the library and read up about specters and ghosts. What causes them to show themselves, and any kind of knowledge he can gain about them.
We'll go fishing.
All right. One at a time. So you're gonna go do some research. Your research tells you nothing that you don't already have guessed. That just like you were kind of told, specters are the spirits of humanoids that are prevented from passing on, either because of anger and intense emotions, or because of past connections that they refuse to let go of. When you also know that these specters, once their unfinished business is completed, it can finally gain rest and redemption. Otherwise, it is doomed to the material plane as a angry and malicious being.
Well, it sounded like if that half elf wouldn't give it up, that the unfinished business is fixing the.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna just relay that to the party when we meet up to go meet Volo again.
Okay. And hey, you're catching some fish. Do me a favor, roll a percentile die. Give you a 70% chance to catch fish. Yep. You sit out there for a couple hours, but anytime you feel a nibble, you just wait. Why did Vanilla roll a die? I thought Lothar was fishing. Okay. Yeah, you feel a nibble, but nothing. All right. Anywho, eventually, you guys all meet up. You head over to the castle ward, and you meet up at the courthouse. Oh God, which notes there? You are met. Volo is awkwardly chatting up a tiefling magistrate wearing a large black cloak, and you can tell she's just very disinterested in Volo and the conversation. And as you guys approach, she very, very curtly spouts out, "Finally, can we get this over with? I have other things to do, other obligations more pressing than a exchange of estate."
Of course. Sorry to take up so much of your time.
Okay, do you, Volo Gadamtharp, promise to relinquish all claim to the aforementioned property and give it to these gentlemen from here on out? And he nods, and then he takes the parchment and he signs at the bottom. He turns to the rest of you, and who exactly will be claiming the property as the owner, or is this going to be a joint venture between the six of you?
I don't particularly want to own them.
If any of you guys have a record.
I don't have a particular. I don't have any reason not to claim it. If anybody wants to join in the venture with me, that's fine. But otherwise, I'm very eager to take over the property.
I'll join in.
I guess the better question is: anybody going to abstain from ownership of the tavern?
That'll be me.
All right. So Volo looks at you and he's like, "What? Are you sure? You'll be forfeiting your payment."
I don't need any beer. I've come here to relinquish some sins, and I feel like a bar would just get me into some more as I softly caress my.
The magistrate looks very annoyed. If he doesn't want to sign, he doesn't have to sign. We'll just the profits from the establishment, we split 5 ways instead. It's fine. And she pulls out her quill and an ink pot, and she says, "Quickly," and hands it to Jerry.
I'll sign it.
And then, she kind of goes around expecting everybody to sign at the bottom.
Yep, I'll sign.
Okay.
Sign.
In order to, complete the transfer, court costs are expected to be paid. There is a tax of 25 gold pieces for the transfer, paid by the new owners. She looks to all of you.
I'll hand over my share.
Yep, I will too.
Yep, not a problem.
I don't have any money to hand over.
I will cover your share, and you can just pay me back sometime.
Okay, thank you.
How many ways are we splitting this?
5?
5.
Okay, perfect.
Van Eld?
I think he's not here. He's been AFK for...
He's talking, but nothing's coming out.
Cool. Let me TLDR for him. We know Van Eld has no money because he said he gave it all to his family.
No, Vaneld, we can't hear you.
That moment when you realize people haven't been able to hear you for hours.
All right, so it's assume. So we're assuming that you're going to pay your 5 gold then.
I'll pay for it and he'll have to pay me back.
Okay. So with the tax all paid up then, they, she kind of quickly signs her name as the witness, as the official witness, and notary of Waterdeep. She, kind of waves her fingers, and you can see that her signature is burned into the parchment. And then with a snap, there is a duplicate. And she hands the duplicate to Jerry. She takes the original with her.
I'll furl it up and put it back and say, that's certainly a neat trick you've learned.
Yes, quite. Are we done here? Or is there other official business that I'm sure is more important and pressing than what I need to attend to?
Yes, did you know anything about
Well, I think that's about it.
been embezzled?
I'm just going to sort of hand wave and step in front. No, I think we've taken up enough of your time. Thank you very much.
Well, I assume that it would be in official records if such a thing happened. I mean,
Not really the time.
I'll shrug.
Yeah, she just kind of raises her eyebrow and turns and walks away.
Yeah, not yeah, not to be rude or anything, Jerry. Just she seemed like she wanted to get rid of us fast. I don't think she was going to be interested in having a conversation about something that's not specifically related to what she has to do.
Well, I mean, she keeps records for the city, right?
She doesn't keep records. She's one of the magistrates. But if we need to find those records, we can go through other channels and not take up the time of somebody that's eager to leave.
Well, do you know any other bureaucrats in the city?
We don't have to speak to specific bureaucrats. We can just go to records officers.
Can you guys hear me now?
Hey, there he is.
There he is.
Since when was I muted?
Ever since the last time I heard you speak was when you had dinner with your family.
Whoa. So I miss all the ghost stuff?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Righty then, boys. Now that you own a bar, what are you going to name it? Or keep the name? Personally, I think you should rename it.
That is an important question. It's currently Trollskull Manor, but you can call your newfound bar. Well, I guess that's a question. Do you intend to make it a bar and run it as a business, or do you just want to keep it as a home?
We could run it as like a bar kind of hotel combo. We could call it the.
Great way to get out of the adventuring life forever.
Isn't that an inn?
I think that we would probably be best suited. We can keep the place, keep the sort of the bottom floor and everything, and run it as a tavern. But I think we should keep the rooms and everything for ourselves. That way, we all have somewhere, comfortable to stay. Not that Lothar's floor wasn't comfortable. I'd just rather sleep in a bed.
Oh, sure, but we can probably rent the rooms out there for more money than the cost of an inn somewhere.
Okay. What are you guys going to name?
Or we could just live there for free and make money on the tavern. We'd make extra money on the side anyway, and we can still go adventuring.
It's true.
I don't know about your situation, but I already have a home.
Again, I think the rent generated by like a room would be more than renting it.
There were
a very nice area of town, from what I can tell.
there were 6 rooms. If everybody has a place, or others have a place already, then we could do both.
Well, are you guys having this conversation as you head back to the manor?
I would assume
Yes.
so.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. As you approach the manor, this time from the north, as you were in the castle ward. I don't geography. I just make it up as I go. Totally approaching from the north, and you find yourselves passing by that one store with the large sign that you had seen from the highest peak. The one with the scrolls and the book and the worm on the sign. And now that you're closer, you can actually see there's some lettering, and it says Bookworm's Treasure. Now open.
I look up to it to see if he has any interest on it, while I try to play with his owl.
I love books. Yeah, let's. Do you mind if we stop in?
You can have your time.
Yeah.
Look,
Two
is
is
it?
gonna go in.
I said a bad word. T6. This bookstore is adorned with the charming sign of a gold dragon curled around a treasure hoard of books and scrolls. Inside, the shop is decorated with beautiful hardwood and gold filigree bookshelves. There's the earthy scent of old books that permeates the air, and the library fills 2 floors of this 3-story building, and it somehow seems to contain more shelves than the building should be able to hold. As you enter, you see the shop is managed by a short dragonborn of golden scale. And as he looks down on you from the 3rd floor, he shouts out, "Why, hello! So long since I've had a visitor. I'll be right down." And as he does, you see him kind of stand up from the banister, and a silvery mist seems to cover over his body, and then he materializes on the ground floor.
Oh, that's a neat trick. I think I've read about that one before.
Aye, it's a simple step. It's called Misty Step. Are you a wizard?
I am. I'm just beginning on my journey, though. I have much to learn.
You've come to the right place, friend. This is a place where all who enjoy learning are welcome. You can see that knowledge is what I purvey, and for a small but modest fee, I can let you peruse some of these spell books I have here, or again, for a fee, I can scribe some of my knowledge into a scroll for you to carry with you. I would love to be of service if ever you require.
Thank you very much. We actually just acquired the manor down the street, so hopefully I'll be seeing much more of you. What did you say your name was?
I did not say my name. I am Rishal, often called the Page Turner due to my infatuation with books and learning. And your name, young one?
I'm Tuit. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, Tuit. And who are your friends hiding just beyond? And he points to the rest of the group who has not yet quite come inside.
I'm Jerry. Pleasure to meet you.
I'm Lothar. Pleasure to meet you.
Hello. It's very nice.
I'm Banel, and I do the same gesture that I tried to copy from the good elf.
My name is Phoebus. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
And I am Darnock.
So, your friend tells me you've just moved in down the road.
Yes, that's correct.
Turns out the place is haunted. You wouldn't happen to have anything to get rid of ghosts.
Well, let me think about that. He kind of walks over and starts thumbing through a book. I have some things that could assist. Maybe an arcane lock would keep the ghost from bothering you. Maybe some clairvoyance would allow you to commune with it, to glean its intentions, and maybe learn its past so you can know better how to expel the creature. I mean, dispel magic could possibly work, but it is kind of an ethical question, right? Snuffing out the magic sustaining a... Would it be a living creature? That's another question of itself. I mean, it is sentient, that much is true, but just because it's sentient, is it alive if it is undead? And would we, as another individual, would we be justified in ending such a life without provocation? I'm sorry, I've kind of went off on a tangent. I get distracted sometimes.
I think we can leave Kellenvor to sort our souls out at the end.
Ah, I see this one. He has the warrior spirit. Kill them all and let's sort them out later, hmm?
I'm not one to pass judgment on souls, but undead, they freak me out.
Well, I'd say first you'd have to determine what kind of undead ghost you're dealing with. In all my learning, I've known that there are many different types. And once you figure out the kind of ghost that you have, then you can decide on how you go about getting rid of it. Whether that is some kind of spell, or if you have to, let Kellenvor sort it out.
I think it'd be best if we could find a way to communicate with it first. Do you think you could help us with that?
Is there any way we could perhaps speak with the ghost?
I can check. Let me see. Well, here it says that such a spell is possible, but I'm afraid it's beyond my capabilities. I am but a simple wizard. You would need to seek out a cleric or someone who is proficient with such a thing.
Or do you...
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. You wouldn't have any suggestions, maybe, from non-magical purposes, just maybe in your experience? Have you ever encountered a ghost or specter?
Oh, no, actually, I'm not much of an adventurer. I like to practice and learn magic purely on the application and theory. I'm quite adept at casting spells of all manner, but I've never had any field experience, no.
Okay, well, it was very nice meeting you. I hope to speak to you again soon.
Of course, you're always welcome, even if you just want to come and chat.
Do you happen to know the augury spell?
Augury, you say? Oh, let me look here. It's not in this book. I'd have to check my directory. One moment. And that silvery mist, with a T, not a K, kind of envelopes him again, and you see him disappear up until one of the higher reaches. And you can hear heavy books being set on a table, thumbing through pages as he looks. You see him show up again, this time with the heavy book in hands as he looks over the railing. Yeah, I know the spell. I have it written here, but again, I am but a simple wizard. It seems like you seek a cleric.
Well done. There goes my ideas. Let's go bash a ghost.
Is there no cooldown on that? Should be.
I mean, maybe if we stick around sometime it can appear, but I don't want to interact with it. You guys seem more into it.
Volo said
It
it
says
was
there's
the
10
dead
minutes.
barkeep, so maybe if we talk about changing the name in there, it'll get him pissed.
Well, it lives in our home now, so I think we should confront it.
Well, it's not
Perhaps
my
we can
home. I just want to bash a gate.
into a nice
Sounds like
family
fun.
restaurant.
Yeah, it might interfere with our patronage if every once in a while a ghost just starts breaking plates and glasses.
Or perhaps
Exactly.
we
So we
open
need to
it
get
up.
rid of it.
We can turn it into like a freak show of some sort where we invite people to come see the ghost break plates.
Yeah, that's
There's a lot of bars
not
around,
the.
but this is the only haunted place.
This will not be like the first place with that kind of attraction. Remember that beholder on the other shop?
Ooh, maybe that's, like that's your gimmick, right? We're the haunted tavern, or spooky ale, or I don't know. Let me get some water.
Hey Lothar, why didn't you want to join to this thing?
I've done some very bad things in the past, and those are wrongs that I need to right. I can't do that while sitting alone in a bar.
You can't do that. What? Sorry, you broke up at the end.
Can't do that sitting alone in a bar. I want to go back home, my real home, as I touch my.
I'm sure none of us are planning on giving up looking for jobs while we get this tavern going. Even when it's running, we'll probably look to earn a little more coin by doing various tasks.
Just look at that old man from the joining portal, Dornan. He
Well,
was quite an adventurer.
Well, Durnan was an adventurer, but then he opened the tavern. He gave up adventuring.
Don't say that.
Life, to be honest.
You're going to scare him.
Well, I'm trying to pretty much be straight that as far as I'm concerned anyway, I didn't think that we were looking to give up the adventuring life. I'm still looking to adventure, but I think a little extra coin and a base of operation would be nothing but an asset to us.
Being completely honest, if I can get more money just working in the tavern, I'll stay there. I'm only looking for that.
Good. They're all good, damn it.
Maybe we could name the place Fool's Run.
What's the reason for that?
Because it's a great name for an inn.
The adventurer's life isn't trivial, that's for certain.
I don't understand anything.
So, you finished your conversation at the bookworm, right? And then are you standing inside the manor, or are you having this conversation like in the road outside the manor?
Probably on the way over.
Yes.
Probably outside.
Excellent. So as you guys are approaching the manor, you see a peculiar sight. It looks like an origami crane, right? But it's roughly the size of we'll say it's like 2 hands wide, and it's like fluttering through the air, flying towards you.
What is that? And I point at the thing.
I grab it and open it up.
If it's close enough, I try to grab it.
Okay, yeah, it flutters directly into the middle of your group. I mean, anyone can reach out and grab it. But it looks like it was floating directly towards Jerry.
Huh. I guess I'll reach out and grab it.
Sure. When you grab it, you can see that written on the paper that makes this bird, there are words. You can read them. They're written in common, in a very thin but legible script. And as you unfold it, you can read the full message. It says, Renair tells us you are a good bet. He bought you tickets to the opera tonight at the Lightsinger Theater in the C Ward. If you are interested, meet Mert at intermission. Private Box C. Formal attire required.
I'll read that out to the rest of the party and say it's been a long time since.
You guys, I don't think they'd want a Minotaur, and
You say that.
also I don't have any.
You say that, but also enclosed inside this bird, 6 tickets to the opera.
There wouldn't happen to be 6 formal attires in there, would there?
No.
We're gonna go down to the tuxedo shop.
This is quite nice. Do you know who this fellow is? It must be one of our new neighbors.
Who? Renell?
Yes.
Renell's the man that we rescued from the
person who sent the thing to us.
Yes, well, no, we don't know who sent it to you, but they specifically mentioned Renair, who we know is a noble-born son, and he is the son of the former Open Lord.
You think Lord Neverember sent it to us?
No, I don't think it would be him.
Will I know like roughly the price of like a suite to go to this?
Yeah. I don't know if you would know the exact price, because tickets to the opera, very fancy. Living here in the dock ward, making a very modest living, we know that they are very, very expensive, and you could probably never afford one.
I'd like to request a funny montage of us trying on tuxedo.
Absolutely. I would just, well, okay. So first, what do you want to do? Do you want to go and see what this is about, or I mean,
Absolutely. Let's get tuxes and then we can go to the opera. I'm excited and daydreaming of looking dapper in a tux.
okay. So where do we get tuxes?
The tailors. Let's go ask around.
Yeah, maybe that elf from before Fala can show us where there's a tailor in this neighborhood.
I don't know about that.
It's okay, guys. I know a guy that can lead us directly to where we need.
You know quite a lot of guys. Who is it?
Okay, so you guys you go to forgot his dang name. That would be Fala. You're gonna go to Fala and ask them if they know a tailor. Is that right?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so
Johnny McNumber guy.
Specifically a tailor that can make clothes suitable for wearing at a highbrow event.
oh yes, of course. Oh, you will look so marvelous. I do believe that there is such a tailor who makes very fine and upstanding garments on Seldith Street in the Castle Ward. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The name of the establishment is Bar Saves Exquisite Goods, and I'm sure. And they kind of look out the window and they check the sky. Yeah, they should be open for quite a while.
Let's head there then. Before we go, can I ask to buy like a single flower from him? Maybe like something like to put in the pocket from the chest of the suite. I'm imagining something like that.
Well, so you asked to buy a flower, and when you use the pronoun him, Fala, you see, kind of wrinkles their face, and they say, "Oh no, 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 that's incorrect. Please, you can simply call me Fala."
I'm sorry, Fala. Do you have a suggestion to use a flower in my suite?
Well, these are very nice. They're called carnelians, and they're a brilliant red, and I think it really brings out your eyes.
How much for one of them?
Oh, they are not very expensive, and I have many. You can have it for only 5 copper.
Sure thing. I'll hand him 5 copper. I mean 1 silver, and he gives me that chance.
They. Fala gently corrects you again.
I'm talking out of character though.
Yeah, but I'm telling you out of character, it's not a he.
Yeah, I know.
Oh crap, I just remembered something. Remember how in the first story it became canonized that I have a crush on Elle?
Yeah?
I stand very shyly in the back, not making direct eye contact.
Well, you can't just say that and not expect me to play on with it. So Fala looks over. And what of you? Would you like one of my fine flowers to accompany your garments?
Yes, actually. A yellow rose. It truly shows inner.
Oh, well, here. And they go and they pick this big blooming daisy, but it almost seems to shimmer with a near magical quality. And Fala goes and kind of puts it in your tousled mane.
Thank you. I still am avoiding eye contact.
Well, I as fun as this is, I'm sure you must be off. The castle ward is very far from here.
Thanks for everything, Fala. We appreciate it.
They just kind of give
As
that
we-
weird little bow curtsy again.
As
I
we walk
copy it
along,
again.
I only caress my flower.
All right. Eventually you go to Barsave's exquisite wares, and the proprietor is a gnome. And the gnome is wearing like pinstripe purple and black pants, shiny dress shoes with golden buckles, a white a white long sleeve blouse with a black vest with a pocket watch and a monocle. And he also has a huge mustache that ends in a kind of a handlebar handlebar mustache. And as he looks at all of you as you walk in, he kind of takes one hand and grabs that monocle. He goes, "Ooh, ah, I'm sorry. Are you in the right place?"
We're looking for suits. We were told.
Oh yes, little man, we're actually here for an opera. I do apologize for our closing.
Stop talking. That's like the third. Poor Jerry. Oh, you can't hear him. You said he was really quiet.
I can't hear him at all. It's completely...
Really? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you
I can
fine.
hear you
Yeah.
fine.
I can
No,
hear you.
that's
Same
like the
for me.
third time he was talking and you just like nah. Just try. But
It's my Discord.
are you sure? Because I mean, everybody but Kobold can hear you.
I mean, it does it a lot when I'm like running games, and then also like sometimes I just can't hear anybody, but like everyone lights up, so it's something with Discord.
Weird. Okay. Let's do.
You can hear me now?
Yeah. Oh, you're not talking to me.
I guess not.
Yeah, I think he's just quiet. You know, he's.
Well, maybe it was me. Let's hope.
Well, bar save. I'd like a nice garment to wear to the opera, but I was wondering if you could embroider a whale on it.
A whale.
Yes, I love whales, and I figure you might also have an appreciation for them. I'm not sure why.
Well, I could most certainly do that. I'm just not quite sure if you would have the coin. Custom tailor-made clothes are quite expensive, you see.
How much are we talking? I've just come into quite an.
Oh, really? Well, I guess if you want me to make you something that's really worthwhile and will fit you perfectly, really kind of accentuate, and as he says this, he kind of like, you know, puffs up his chest and he like flexes his muscles, which he has none. He's very kind of pudgy, but you know, the gesture is clear. If you wanted to accentuate anything, then I would say maybe for 150 dragons, 200 gold coins, I could make you something quite nice.
For all of us, or per person?
Oh no, per person, yes.
Guys, even if we can afford that, this thing is happening tonight, right? This worker won't have the time to do this in this
How dare you?
time span.
Of course I would
Oh, we
have the
can.
time. I am the finest tailor in all the land. And he kind of puts his hand up with a flare.
Finest tailor, you say?
The very
You think
best.
You can make a minotaur look.
Oh, honey, I could do much more than make you look good.
A challenge I would quite like to see. Cue montage.
Well, I've got 90 gold for myself. What can you do for an old man?
Ooh. See, I thought I was right. Well, for those kinds of funds, I could let you use one of the loner suits.
You don't have something from last season.
Well, and he goes to one of the walls of the shop. He opens up a wardrobe that doesn't exactly smell too fresh. And you see he's got an assortment of suits, some very large and small, different sizes for different, you know, shapes and heights of humanoids. But he's like, for 40 gold coins, I would let you use one of these. It's, you know, just a rental for the night. You have to return it to me, washed preferably. But if you have a event, this would be sufficient to gain you entry.
That sounds very steep for a rental. Are you trying to take advantage of us, sir?
I don't know. Do you know of any other tailors that would have a set of formal wear available for you to use on last minute? Or maybe you would like more time to accumulate the coins so that you could actually afford one of my suits. He kind of pouts his lips at you.
I tell you what, put it on my tab. The name's Volothorpe.
Volo! That scoundrel! How dare you invoke his name in my establishment? He still owes me for the garments I made him last time.
Same here. Except for wasn't garments just work? I don't suppose you could give us a friends and family discount then.
You are no friend of mine. I'll tell you what. I can see that your group is desperate, and I am so magnanimous and wonderful. I'm prone to charity. I will let you use the rental suits for 30 gold coins. It's a 10 coin discount. I know I am generous.
You know, if you can make me look good, there's this really pretty girl that I want to impress, so I'll go for it. As I caress my wrist.
Alright, you give him the 30 coins?
I'll pay the 30 gold.
Okay. He goes into the wardrobe and he finds a suit for each of you and he points to some doors. There's 4 of them at the back of the establishment. He's like, changing rooms if you'd like to get suited up. You can leave your other garments here until you return. They'll be kept safe and... Ugh.
I'm okay. Thank you very much. I think I'll chance it in my my tunic and garb. Appreciate it.
Okay.
I'll try the suit on and act like I don't like it. Take it off and just leave.
So Van Eld and Tuit are not getting formal wear?
Phoebus will, but I just want to find somewhere else that I can just buy a set of fine clothes for a reasonable price and not for a clothing that nobility would wear to parties. Just nice clothing.
You can buy nice clothing, sure. I mean, I believe it's listed in the venturing gear, but that's not what they require. They say you need formal attire. Fancy suits and ties, ball gown dresses. Tonight at the opera.
Darnock already thinks he's wearing formal wear.
Can you share with the group what I look like?
Oh, I didn't look it up because I got time to open Discord.
Guys, I think I have a better idea than spending all this money here. I can't quite do it, but I bet if we go back to the bookworm, I'm trying to remember his name, Rishar, something like that. If we go back to his place, then maybe for much less money, he could help me help us be disguised.
Phoebus will just hand over 30 gold and get a...
Alright, so Phoebus, Lothar, and Jerry. And you, I guess you said Darnock already thinks he's dressed very nice. He's not gonna pay for the formal wear.
Well, seeing other people do it, he'll go ahead and give the 30 gold, but he doesn't think he needs to.
Okay. The suits are okay. Like, you can see obvious patches and sew lines. They don't smell particularly nice, and there's stains on the armpits. But at a distance or in the dark, it's formal wear. I mean, it's definitely probably should be enough to get you into the opera hall.
Tuit's going to turn to the rest of the party and say, I had to use the money that we earned before to pursue my magical endeavors. Could someone maybe loan me 30 gold coin and I can get it back to them?
Sure, I've got you. And I'll fork over another 30 gold.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and then Tuit's gonna get their formal attire as well. And then I guess it's just Vaneld who refused to put on the goofy clothes. So, with everybody having changed clothes, would anybody like to do or say anything? Nope. Good.
No, just head over to the establishment when the time is.
Okay. One thing that I wanted to point out, Lothar. I've already kind of talked about the quality of these loner suits. Yours, it's much too long. It's obvious that it was made for a Goliath, and the sleeves kind of hang almost half a foot up past your hands. And if you aren't constantly hiking up the legs, you trample and walk on the bottoms of the pants. So just a little bit of extra fun for you.
Could I
I'll feel that.
help him out a little bit?
You're gonna walk behind him and hike his pants.
I mean, if we could find some like needle and thread at like a general store maybe, and
just kind of hem it. Yeah, sure. All right. As you guys approach the opera house, you see, and someone has used the spell Skywrite to put a big like electric lettering that says "The Fall of Tiamat," and you see that the opera you are going to go and witness tonight is it's a musical that is sung entirely in giant, and that's kind of the kind of the draw of this particular show. Is it's all in giant. It's an all Goliath cast. It's wonderful. Oh, it's rave reviews. But the entire show is just kind of a retelling of Tiamat's defeat at the Well of Dragons. And as you guys are watching the show, it's very confusing. I mean, like, I'm sure most of you know the story of Tiamat and the Cult of the Dragon and how she was eventually defeated. But to watch it being acted out by a bunch of Goliaths who, I will say, they are very talented athletes, and their moves are very, very good, but they're not very dexterous. So they kind of walk clunkily across the stage as they leap about. And the dialogue, since I don't think any of you speak Giant, do you?
Nope.
No, it's very harsh, and it just sounds like they're angry all the time, and you're just very confused through the show.
Quite if they dress me up like that.
So the show goes on, right? And you get about an hour in, and then intermission comes, right? The lights go on, the cast goes for a break, and people start to file out to get refreshments and other such things.
All right, let's head to that private box.
Sure. Lead on.
Well, does anyone remember what the guy's name that we need to find?
Unscroll the paper and read it again.
The paper simply says, Renair tells us you are a good bet. He bought you tickets, and if you're interested, meet Mert at intermission, private box C.
Alright, to private box C then. We're here to see Mert. I'll look for directions or ask like an usher.
Okay, eventually you're kind of shuffled over, and as you find what you know to be private box C, you see the entrance has curtains drawn, and there, as you approach, there's not like a guard or anything blocking your way, but as you approach, you can see Jerry, particularly because you're very observant. You're able to mark 3 different people dressed in formal attire, watching you intently. And from the way their clothes hang on their bodies, it's obvious that they have concealed weapons.
I'll kind of break off from the group as they enter the box, and I'll try to find like a bathroom or something to try to keep an eye on them as they keep an eye on the rest of I'll whisper something, be like, "Oh, my bladder's acting up again. I'll be back in a minute."
Okay, so you're gonna break away, kind of keep an eye on the people that watched you, while Tuit, Darnock, Lothar, and Phoebus go into the box.
Yes.
Okay. So the 4 of you enter in the box, and it is occupied by only a single person. It's an older gentleman, very portly, and as you enter, he kind of turns around and gives you a very big smile. Oh, yes, hello. Please come sit. Yes, I am Mert. Please.
I have a.
So,
Keep going.
how are we enjoying the show?
Can't say I've ever seen Goliaths perform like this before. It's certainly an interesting experience.
Oh yes, exquisite. One wouldn't think that the noble mountain folk of the Goliath would have such a talent for the arts and music. What makes this particular troupe so very amusing. I'm positively just fond of them. I adore them and everything that they do.
Well, you wouldn't expect a Minotaur to play the guitar, but we
Do you play the guitar, my horny friend?
Every Minotaur plays
Nope,
the guitar.
nope.
No one bothers to ask.
Banned! Get out, cat! Alright. So, he kind of nods his head. Yes, of course. That would be a lute. So, he looks at all of you, and he kind of, clasps his hands together over his immense belly. So, I'd imagine you'd have some questions, Go on, I will answer truthfully.
Well, what is it that you want with us?
Me? Well, I in particularly don't want much from anybody. I am retired in my old age, but I have some very influential friends, and they thought that maybe I could convince you to join us for a bit of an endeavor.
What sorts of endeavor?
I'm sorry.
What sort of endeavor?
Oh, well, it depends on the day, actually. We were hoping that me and my network could count on you. It would seem that we have a mutual acquaintance that's been stirring up a bit of trouble, and we were hoping that maybe, if called upon, we could count on you. Oh, forgive me. You're probably confused. And as he says this, he kind of reaches into his vest, and he pulls out a small silver pin with what looks to be a harp on it. I am a member of a group called the Harpers, and we would like to protect the simpler folk, but no, never quite so overtly. Think of us. We like to watch from afar and maybe take some preventative measures if necessary. And after some recent incursions that you've had with those Xanathar and Zentarum, yes, we know about that. It's what we do. I was wondering, I don't know, how you felt about the whole affair.
Well, I can't exactly speak for the rest of the party. I know we've been at odds with them before, but I'm eager to see the war between the two factions, or the two groups, come to an end.
Exactly that. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad that you are reasonable people. You see, this war that the Zentarum and the Xanathar have found themselves in, it's done nothing but disrupt commerce, it's hurt people, and there have been people who have lost their lives, and we would like for nothing more than to see this whole ugly mess put behind us. So, if you are interested and you would like to assist us, I am here to offer you a mission on the Harper's behalf.
Well, great. What's the pay?
Oh, no. You see, we are a powerful ally to have. You have to prove yourself to us first, and once you are renowned enough within the ranks, then maybe we would offer our services to you. Of course, this is all entirely optional. You don't have to agree to anything that you don't like to. We just thought that, again, you would be reasonable people.
Well, ending a war would be a sin forgiven, but not mine, so I'll do whatever the party does. I'm not particularly...
Having spent quite a lot of time in one of the temples tending to the wounded, the bodies just seem to come one after another with no respite in between. So I think putting an end to this war and stopping all of this bloodshed is definitely a worthwhile cause. So I'd be willing to lend my aid to that end.
Excellent. Welcome
However,
aboard, young lad. And he reaches out to shake your hand, Phoebus.
I kind of reach out, and just before I take his hand, I say, there is a small caveat, however.
Caviar? Yes. Yeah, I'd be delighted.
So I have a particular agenda of my own, and so if we do start to work together, an organization such as yours would likely have resources that I could make use of, knowledge I could pull from, people I could speak to, things like that.
Interesting. Yes, okay. Let me hear what you have to say. I can make no promises, as I am just an intermediary to be said, but what would you ask?
More than anything, the ability to try and find ways or leads towards gathering knowledge around the arcane and the divine, and also in helping tracking a particular person down.
Ah, see, now that one we could help you with. The arcane, the divine. Read a book, man. But if you're looking for someone and you ally yourselves with us, then I'm sure we could assist.
Very well. And then I'll reach out and take his hand.
Excellent, great. Welcome aboard. How about the rest of you lot, You coming with us?
If you're able to find people, then I'm definitely in.
Wonderful, wonderful, so happy.
Well, it seems like my party's joining. I'll join in name only. I don't want to make any commitment.
Well, there is no commitment other than saying that you would commit, sir. We don't require any gold, there's no membership fees, and we only require that you occasionally go on an errand or two for us.
Just as long as nothing nefarious, yeah, sure, why not?
Nefarious? Who do you take us for?
Humans. Doing human things.
What? Wow, I am offended. This is coming from the murderous, beast. And he kind of looks at you.
Point proof.
Well, you're the one who are making sweeping judgments about my race. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, they say.
I said your race is nothing but unpredictable. I didn't say it was particularly bad.
That is particularly bad. I don't appreciate your remarks, sir. And I would say more, that you should be lucky that my adventuring days are past me, or old Mert the Merciless here would have to show you what's for my ass. So he finishes scolding Lothar. He looks around. He's like, okay, here is the specifics of your first assignment with us. One of the drays working in the city is pulled by a mare that goes by the name of Maxine. Maxine is no typical horse, however. She is actually a very valuable Harper asset. Locate Maxine. Find out if she's learned the identity of any Zent operatives, and if so, determine their whereabouts and report it back to me.
And how will we know this Maxine, and how will we make contact?
Well, that's part of the trouble, She, for all intents and purposes, is a regular horse that one of our allies in the Emerald Enclave has awakened for us so that she could be a valuable utility for the Harpers. And you're just gonna have to walk around the dock ward until you find her. Yes, yeah.
So I did hear you correctly. It is a talking horse?
It is a talking horse, yes. She is chestnut in color and has a very pleasant disposition.
Charming. Do you know where they were last?
No, I'm afraid not. If I knew where Maxine was, then we could just go and talk with her, couldn't we?
Well, yes, I just meant more of a location to start at, I guess.
Oh! The show's getting ready to resume. Okay, off with you now.
EA.
You guys, I don't particularly want to watch any more of that show. It's very confusing and very angry.
Yes, it kind of makes me miss my cave.
That is something we're going to have to talk about.
It's something we're gonna have to talk
Let's go turn in these suits.
Okay, so you guys kind of get forced out of the private box, and as you do, you can see. I guess this would be a good time for Jerry to make his presence known, because he's been watching from afar.
So did those guards do anything? Did I notice anything particularly menacing about them?
No, they just kind of lingered in the hall and kept an eye on the entrance to the private box. It's almost like they were guarding it, but they were trying to be inconspicuous so that people didn't notice that they were guarding it. But you noticed.
Did anyone else come around? It seemed like they were snooping for the box, or did it seem like those
Nope.
guards?
Nope, it was just the guards doing their guard thing.
Right, great. Yeah, I'll find my way back to the seats when I see the group. I guess I'll watch the rest of the opera, and then we can meet up.
I inform him that we are now members.
All right. So he's gonna watch the rest of the opera, meet up with you guys back at the manor. What are the rest of you guys doing? I know Lothar said he's definitely leaving.
I inform him that we joined a group called the Harpers, and then I go return my.
I see. How do we know who's a member of the Harpers?
So the name of the group is the Harpers.
He had some silver pin shaped like a harp.
With a crescent moon.
Did I see the silver pin on the guards outside?
I would say no. They wouldn't have had it out in the open.
Okay.
Yeah, he did say that they are benevolent but clandestine organization.
Interesting. Well, there was 3 men outside that door with swords concealed underneath their.
Probably in case we were rogue agents looking to harm them. I mean, everything went fine and nobody was harmed, so if they were going to be leading us into some sort of a trap, that would have been the ideal time to spring it.
Yeah, certainly. So, what? So you said they're benevolent, but how do you know?
There are tales about the Harpers, rumors of an organization of people that worked for the benefit of the common folk behind the scenes. A small pouch of coins for a man who's looking to buy some medicine for his sick wife in one place. A local tyrant that suddenly found dead in his house in another town. Things of that nature.
Ah, I see. And you trust this Mert fellow? Nothing seemed off about him.
I mean, not as far as I could tell. He seemed to be pretty straightforward.
Yet nobody did an insight check. I'm gonna say that out loud. Yet nobody did an insight check.
That's true.
Not because he wasn't straightforward, but because I like to
What do you say?
sow doubt and fear. It's my job.
Well, I see no harm in it, assuming that no one else is going to come after us. Is there anything you wanted in
Yes, and you can see Phoebus look a little sheepish. He wants us to go to the docks and find a talking horse.
a talking horse at the dock?
Yes. Apparently, they'd managed to have a friend of theirs use an awakening spell on a horse, and they're using the horse to a spell that awakens intelligence in a normal animal. Allows it to speak and understand language.
Speak, then what need they have? Couldn't they just make like a whole army of these talking animals?
I mean, maybe. I don't know, but what we need to do is try and find the horse and find out what it knows. Apparently, it's been spying in an area, so that's what we need to do.
Well, I'm pretty observant. I guess I could help find a horse. Do we know what it looks like?
It's chestnut in color. It's supposed to be chestnut. That's what he said.
This is ridiculously, deliciously ridiculous. I mean, it's good. So, off to the docks?
Sounds like a plan. Is it?
I'm returning
I
this
assume we should do
before I
it.
go to the bath.
Oh, man. Oh, look at this guy using his brain and shit. All right.
I do that well at night. I'm just a poor old man.
Well, I can help you with being able to see at night. I can create some light for you.
So tired after the opera, and besides, the horse will probably be put up in a stable or something, and we'll never find it unless we want to break and enter, which I certainly don't want to go to.
A good point. Perhaps we should wait for morning.
Okay. Yeah. Wait for morning. Return the suits, and then where are we camping out for the night?
Let's go to
the spooky spot.
Yeah, let's go to the manor.
Yeah,
Are you
Phoebus
sure?
is up for staying at the manor.
Remember, the manor doesn't have a door with a lock on it.
100% we're going to the manor.
We can find the ghost in the middle of the night. And I might be able to jerry rig something up. And
jerry rig.
Oh, I missed a funny pun. Feels bad.
You see, his name is Jerry. Anyway.
Jerry Patrick.
So you guys head to the manor. You guys get ready to bunk down for a night. And what contraption are you making, Jerry?
Well, I just like to prop like a chair and just kind of make like a crossbar if I can. Or just break apart some old chairs.
Okay. So what?
I put a crossbar on the door.
Okay, yeah, all right. So you bar the door shut.
It'll have to do for now.
Does the door swing outwards or inwards?
Inwards? Don't most doors swing inwards? Interior doors?
Because of it's a fire hazard if it opens in.
I mean, I don't think they've got health and safety regulations in Waterdeep.
Sure. I will say the door swings in whichever direction you want it to swing.
I'm just saying, or I guess it doesn't matter. Inward would be more secure, and outward would be if we don't want to burn. It doesn't matter.
Bye.
Well, if it's outwards, I could just tie a string to my leg.
That's a fun way to lock a door.
And since that's funny in my head, I vote we do that.
If we are looking at that way
fuck,
and
I
it
just did.
swings inward, you can just sleep by the door and keep it closed with your body. If you want to tie yourself, I think that's easier.
Nice hair, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
I left out for it.
Say hi to me. Pay attention to me. All right. What is? Are you seriously rolling for the direction of the door?
I think we're just spending far too much time talking about which direction this door's going to open.
Oh, did the ghost drink the beer I left out?
Hey, the physics of the door opening is very integral to this.
Yes.
More
Okay, so we bar the door. We go to sleep. And then...
Is the beer there, though? I'm actually curious about that.
Is what there?
He has
beer?
to feel the beer that he left out for the ghost is still there.
Ah. I would say no. It is not still there. The mug has been knocked onto the floor, and there is a puddle of ale as you enter the establishment.
Oh, what a dick. He's not getting another.
What a dick. I know.
Maybe he's a minor and can't drink it.
He ran a bar.
Oh, are we 100% sure that it's the half-elf?
Well, half-elves tend to live
Okay.
like hundreds of... I certainly hope he wasn't a minor in possession of such an establishment.
Guys, are we certain that this isn't a ghost of a house cat?
I don't know what the fuck.
Well, we can think of that tomorrow, I guess.
I go to the cellar to hit the...
Phoebus goes to the tower.
Lothar, as you are walking down the stairs to the cellar, you aren't very paying attention very well. It's late at night, it's dark, and you can see that empty wine bottles have been placed on the steps. You can't help but trip over them. And I'd like you to make a dex save, please. It doesn't matter what he rolls. I just feel like there's something happening. Nobody's rolled a dice like all night. Maybe. Okay, 10 is good enough. So you kind of catch yourself and you brace yourself as you fall. You land prone at the bottom of the stairs, but you're not injured in any way. And for everybody else in the house, you hear this loud clamor as the Minotaur goes crashing down the steps.
I go and look after him, kinda surprised by the sound this late.
Guys, learn how to clean up after yourselves, you damn drunkard.
Oh, what are you on about? We've been with you all day, and besides, I was at the opera.
Except for when I was reading books and you were talking about ghosts, how do I know you weren't getting drunk and trying to pull a fast one?
Oh, I'm sure you would notice if I was having a few bottles of wine, it sounds like.
Yeah, you will notice for sure if I were doing that. I'm not the same person.
I'd like to look around. Does anything else look like it's been disturbed besides the wine bottle?
Well, the cup of ale was knocked over. All the wine bottles were kind of laid here on the steps. And for further inspection, no, it doesn't seem like anything else.
Does it look like there's like footprints in and out of the dust besides ours?
Oh, absolutely not.
Well, time to hit the head.
I'd like to inspect the kitchen that was like to the south of the first floor.
To what end? Yes, the kitchen.
Is there anything there? Open doors, maybe from.
Nope, it's exactly as you left it. It's bedtime. Go sleepy. Okay, wake up the next day. Night is fairly uneventful. And doing what?
Go off to see a horse about a man.
Yeah, we're off to see a horse.
I'm gonna go see Johnny McNormal.
Wait, was the place still open for us to return our suits?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, we already
What's
did
next?
that.
Okay.
We hand
Okay.
waved that before we went back.
Okay. Then yeah, just grab some breakfast and head down to the docks, I guess.
Okay. You said you're gonna go visit Johnny McNormal guy?
Yes.
Totally wasn't his name, but it doesn't matter. You find that he is mysteriously missing.
Chugga chugga choo. Time to look for a horse.
No. So that would just be it. Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Johnny. Sorry, mate. Johnny didn't show up for work today. It wasn't here yesterday either. And you're just like, all right, I'm gonna go find a horse.
What do you mean Johnny wasn't here yesterday? Johnny always shows up.
He didn't show up today or yesterday. Must be out on a real bender, that one.
I know Johnny quite well. Man can hold his alcohol.
Yeah? Well, he's not gonna hold his job if he doesn't show up tomorrow.
Alright, I'll go find him. Go to my apartment, go to the bottom part of the condo where
Yeah, you knock on the door and there's no answer.
I open the door.
Yeah, it's Johnny's apartment. I'm sure you're quite familiar with the site. Slightly untidy, but nothing out of the ordinary. And when you go into Johnny's bedroom, he's not there. He must be busy.
Peculiar.
Okay, everybody else
Well,
running. Shut up, you. Everybody else running about town looking for a horse. It's ridiculous every time I say it. Just briefly, paint me a picture. How about are we looking for this horse through the ward here?
Oh, well, I'd like to look for some stables or perhaps a cart pulling service to whoever takes stuff from the.
Okay. Anyone else?
Just very confused following Jerry. Not really sure why are we looking for a horse.
That's right, he wasn't there.
Yeah, it sounds like a good plan. Look for cart pulling services, anywhere that uses horses as labor in the docks as well to pull.
Well, remember, he specifically said one of the drays working in the city. Drays are those are the cart pullers. You know, the guys who pull. What are they called? The rickshaws.
Oh yeah, okay. Just like normal wagons and stuff. Carts and stuff. Alright, yeah, so for the drays then.
Or Yeah, it's like a rickshaw, but it's more like a wagon. I don't know. I had to Google it because apparently I had a very wrong image. Anyway, so you go looking for an establishment that it would kind of fit this description. You find it, yeah, but they have like 30 horses stabled. You kind of make your way back and start looking at all the different ones that could be considered like a chestnut brown. I need everybody to make an active investigation check, because even though your passive is very high, they look like horses. You know, there's no discerning one from the other. Okay, Van Eld, you know, as you kind of walk through, you should just never roll. Every time you roll, it's bad. As you walk through, all the horses, they're kind of standing around. They're doing dumb horse thing, right? They're chewing on oats. They kind of shuffle their weight around inside their stall. But you see one of them, it's like it's like a nervous kid, you know, like they're looking straight ahead, and then you can see they move their eye and look in your direction. They turn their eye straight ahead, like, oh, I'm not looking at you, you know, like they're definitely trying to avoid eye contact.
I'm guessing we have like permission to stay here. I'm going to go to
No,
it and
not
like
quite.
pet it.
You don't have permission to
Oh.
be here. It's a big open stable, and you just kind of walk in and you're looking around. Nobody seems to notice or care as long as you don't remove the horse from where it's stabled.
Okay, I'm going to walk up to the nervous horse and try to pet it. Like, does something happen? Does he bite me or something?
No. You pet the horse, and it just kind of snorts it.
I don't really do anything else. I don't think I will know.
Phoebus will approach, and he will very quietly just sort of start petting the horse, and then say, Mert sent us to speak with you about an investigation.
How do I know that you're a Harper?
Well,
because you know that you talk. If we were from the Zentarum, we would have already killed you, right? Or taken you to the Knackers.
Whoa.
Yeah, it starts to kind of rear back, scared because you mentioned like killing it.
All right, you're not allowed to talk anymore. You're gonna scare this poor thing.
Would you kill Maxine?
No, Maxine. No.
I'm not a very good horse.
We don't have a Harper pen because this is the first job that Mert has asked us to do for him. A way to kind of prove ourselves.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Wow, that's not great.
No. You can see the horse is still looking at you apprehensively through one eye. I don't believe you.
He's just Mert asked us to find what it is that you know from your investigation and report back to him. It's as simple as that.
I don't know anything. I'm just a normal horse. Clippity clop, clippity clop. It actually says clippity clop. You know.
You should probably keep your voice down, or someone actually might overhear you. Wouldn't want your cover to be blown.
Yeah, wise decision. So is this Mert guy only looking for where the horse is, or do we have to deliver it?
No, he asked us to find out what the horses managed to gather first, what Maxine has managed to gather first, and then to report back to him. Maybe he can use that information to try and help put an end to the war between the two guilds.
Are there any carrots or apples or anything laying around?
Sure. There's a basket of apples laying in the middle of the walkway.
I'm going to go ahead and grab one and bring it to Maxine.
Okay, and do you say anything as you do, or?
No, I just offer it and wait and see how she reacts.
Oh, she looks at you, but then she starts chomping on the apple, and then she starts remarking, Maxine loves apples.
Oh, I can get you another one if you like. If you could also answer a question, I can get you that whole bucket over there.
Persuasion with advantage. Nailed it. So she starts like stomping her hoof and nodding her head. Apples!
Alright, I'll go over and get the bucket of apples and stand there in front of
her. Maxine gave a ride to a sun elf and his half-orc bodyguard 2 days ago. She picked them up at an intersection and dropped them off at the portal yawning. They talked about hiring spies to root out the Xanathar.
I'll give her one apple.
She eats it, happily.
Ask anything else?
The elf had blonde hair.
Alright, I'll go ahead and stroke her head and then put the bucket down in front of her in the stall.
Did you hear any names when you were giving this ride?
No. The half-orc was scary. She was mean.
Oh, poor little thing. I bet it's some more.
Do you remember if the Sun Elf was male or female?
Maxine, not too good. Hard to tell. Maybe a male?
Okay. Well, thank you for your help, Maxine. We'll be sure to get the information to Mert. You keep up the good work, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more apples in it for you.
Apples. Okay. So, let's just hand wave the rest here because it's 9:56. I want to put it up. You guys report to Mert everything that you learn from Maxine about what you can assume to be the Zentarum hiring spies to try and root out the Xanathar. He is very grateful, and those of you who have joined the Harpers increase your standing with the organization, whatever that means. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, and we'll pick it up next week. And thank you everybody for coming and hanging out. Appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure you hit that follow button. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the Discord channel down beneath the stream. That's where we hang out all through the week. That's where we organize all of our games. So if you want to get involved, that's where you need to be. And also make sure you check out the schedules so you can see all the different days that we play on this channel. We will be back tomorrow at noon for the Tomb of Annihilation. It should be fun. See you next time, everybody, and goodbye.